Well, welcome to this week's show for Drawn to Whitetails. Got Drew Ramage and Josh Yancey hosting this week's show. Last week we ended the show with me in the blind hunting for Mr. Krabs. Well, as luck would have it, he ended up showing up that night. First time I'd ever seen him while hunting.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I only seen him one other time in the field, but my trail cameras had told me the story on him. So anyway, we're going to jump right into that hunt and just watch how the hunt unfolds and then the recovery. I think that's a really cool story. So let's jump right into that right now, and we'll summarize it at the very end. Well, we just shot the bow behind the house, kind of replicating the conditions we're going to be in tonight. Sitting in a chair in a ground blind, about a 30-yard shot. And I shot 3 out of the 4 arrows good. The first one I kind of pulled, but it was all on me. But we're overlooking this clover plot and tecumseh plot that I put in this year. Mr. Krabs has been showing up here 3 or 4 times before dark, the week of Christmas, and again 3 or 4 times the week of New Year. He was here before dark, right around 5 o'clock. So, as we touched on in the show the other day, we put this blind in here to narrow the distance so I can hunt this on a north, south, or east wind. One thing I don't like about this blind is, first of all, it limits your view. I love being in a tree stand so your view is not obstructed, but sometimes blind grounds are the key. The thing about this spot right here, I've only got probably about a 50-yard stretch of this food plot that I can see. But if he comes out and does what he's been doing, the camera he's been frequenting is right up here on top of the hill, and he usually comes from the south toward the north. So I should have plenty of time to hopefully get him filmed and get him shot before he works out of the area. It's the only thing I don't like about this spot. But fingers crossed, Lord bless us with the deer, and just maybe I can make a good shot. Stay tuned. Let's see if he shows up. I'm tired of doing these interviews where I make a bad shot. I've got to find a full-time cameraman. And it's been the year of, as I'm messing with the camera, the deer comes out. I was sitting there trying to make sure I was in focus with the light fading. And all of a sudden, I hadn't seen a deer. It's 5. It was 5:05, and then all of a sudden, he's standing there at 25 yards. He came from a brush pile, behind a brush pile that I couldn't see him until he was right in front of me. But I couldn't see to get my release on my knock, and as I did that, my arrow hit the camera, and you probably saw him. He puts his head up really quick. And then he's focused right in on me. He didn't know where I was because I'm in this blind. I felt like I was directly behind the shoulder, and I just squeezed it off, and it looks like it hit the shoulder. What a long, frustrating year. And to be so close, but mess it up when you practice so much in the backyard and doing everything like I'm supposed to be doing, and then just not to get the shot. I'm gonna go look. The arrow came out of him. I think I hit his shoulder. I don't think he got much penetration. And again, the worst thing to me is wounding an animal. I just hate to do that. Oh Lord, if it's your will, let me find him. But I doubt it's gonna be a miracle if I do, because that's not a good hit. All right, well I'm gonna walk over here and look real quick while we still got light. I can't see blood with a hoop. I know exactly where he ran. I'll go up there and find my arrow and see how much penetration I got. All right. Well, the arrow looks a little bit more promising than the shot originally did. Looks like it's about 8 inches blood up to the, about 8 inches up on the arrow. Actually down the arrow a little bit, but, and the broadhead's in him. And the arrow's not broke off. I don't know what happened there. But that makes me feel a little bit better. I don't know if the blood is eased down the arrow, or if maybe I got a little more penetration than I thought. Maybe it hit the offside shoulder. That would be wonderful. I'm gonna go back to the house. I'm right behind the house, and review the footage and call and see if I can get some help looking for this deer. All right, it is before work on Monday, January 3rd. Standing in the food plot, basically where I shot this deer last night. Long, sleepless night, I can tell you that. But the hit, I've watched it 100 times, and you know, it looks like I hit that front shoulder. But I mean, I hit him hard, and I'm praying that it went just enough through that front shoulder. I've got about 6 to 8 inches of blood on that arrow. Buddy Kyle and my son Ross, we went up in here last night and just tracked him for just a little bit. I got a hat on a limb over here. He wasn't bleeding very good at first because it was a little bit higher hit, but he started bleeding pretty good right in there. But we backed out. We wanted to err on the side of caution because if he was just wounded, we didn't want to push him, especially since I only own 20 acres and I really don't know the neighbors on the backside. I cannot see blood, so the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to go over here on this hillside and try to just glass this bottoms area and see if we can see the deer. And if that doesn't work, then we'll come back here and try to follow the blood trail, because if he's gone further than that, he's probably going to keep going. Let's walk over here to the last time we saw blood, kind of ease the direction he went, and then we'll glass and just see if we can see him laying down there in that bottoms. If not, we'll come follow the trail. There's my other stand right up there. I can get up in it and glass. Yeah. There he is.
Got him?
There's a deer right there, I don't know. That's him.
That's him?
That's him.
All right. Where's he at?
You can't, he's right there. Let's have that line. Yeah. He's down.
There he lays right there.
This year has been absolutely crazy, and this deer has given me fits. I can't believe it paid off. Persistence. Persistence. I just hope he's dead, because I ain't got no money on him. I'm sure he is. No, he's breathing. He's breathing. He's breathing. He's breathing. Yeah, he's breathing.
You need to go get your bow.
Yeah.
You gotta be kidding me.
No, he's breathing.
I'm staying right here. Go get your bow.
Holy crap. He's watching us.
Watch this come up here the whole time. That's
He's hurt
amazing.
bad. That means he was hurt bad.
Yeah. Well, he's hurt worse now.
I didn't hear him fall. I had to shoot a touch back than I wanted to because there was a sapling right there. Right behind his shoulder was a sapling. I've never in my life experienced anything quite like that.
Holy crap. That deer laid right here. I'm 10 yards from him. And he laid there, never moved while he was gone.
Why didn't I bring my bow when we first started tracking?
I seen a bunch of blood on his side when he took off.
I could too. Right where the exit was, you can see where it had been bubbling out. I probably had one lung. But he was hurt bad. I mean,
Yeah, he's done.
Two things. He's hurt bad, or he's so used to just seeing me out here that he wasn't intimidated for some reason. Guys, we'll tell you the rest of the story about what I've been thinking he's been doing. I think he's been bedded within 100 yards of my house, and he's been watching me every time I'm hunting. And that's why he's been here while I'm not in the field. Every time I was in the field, he'd never show up. I really think he was 100 yards from my house in a thicket, and he was keeping an eye on me.
And he was watching you getting that stand.
Yeah, he's watching me every night getting the stand. I adjusted it, and he didn't. I fooled him. I didn't hear him fall. Do I back out and come back tonight?
Yeah, I wouldn't mess with it. Hold on.
We made that other shot on him. I couldn't hit where I wanted to. There was a sapling, or two saplings, and I had to shoot between those two saplings. If I moved to the right, I had a big sapling. I couldn't hit as long, so if I moved to the left, I was going to be shooting in the paunch. So the hit was a little further back than I wanted it to be. And he took off running, as you probably saw in the video. And we're following good blood. The arrow's got a little bit of paunch on it, but it's also got good blood trail here. And we didn't hear him fall. So we're doing one of two things. We're gonna walk the edge of this hill right here. And I want to see if I can glass him up on this other hillside. This is pine needles, so we may not have heard him fall. If we don't see him, we're backing out and coming back when I get off work. So let's just
ease right up through there.
I'm gonna ease up here, and I'm just gonna glass because there's a big thicket right here again.
He went right up there past that one big pine.
And then he turned.
Yeah.
And he started going back over there. Let's cautiously thumbs it.
He laying up there?
He's laying up there, his head's down.
Okay.
Well, I finally got Mr. Krabs. Oh, what an adventure. He started showing up on my cameras around the 1st of November, and that's what usually happens around my house. I don't have any bucks until November. But he really got on my radar about November 12th. I was trying to get my son on him, and it just never worked out. He would never show up when we were back here. But anyway, going back to last night, hit him last night, didn't follow him because I knew I hit that front shoulder. And we tracked about 20 yards, decent blood. Well, I came in here this morning with Josh, and again, I can't see blood on the ground. It has to be like a bucket of paint before I can see it. My eyes just don't pick it up. But we just decided to go in there and kind of scout the hillside and see if he was laying about 70 yards in there. And as luck would have it, he was laying in there. And as we walked up on him, as you could tell from the video, I could see his back half, and he was still breathing. He was facing us, nose down, and he was kind of hiding behind a little tree. And anyway, so I went back to the truck, got my bow, came back. Josh stayed there the entire time, and I didn't have a very good shot. He had two saplings in there, and I thought I hit him a little further back. He was at 17 yards. I hit him, and he ran up on the next hillside, and we never could hear him fall. But we were going to walk out and just leave, but there was a good blood trail, and he fell on those pine needles, and we just couldn't hear him fall. And he was laying about 70 yards on the other side of a little thicket there, laying up on the hillside. So this is Mr. Krabs. He has given me absolute fits this year. He is at least a 4.5-year-old deer, if not older, and just a persistence this year. It finally paid off. I've been hunting him relentlessly since November 12th, pretty much. And he'd been giving me the slip every time, but Finally, it all paid off, and what a story, what an adventure. Maybe we can just do it justice on Drawn to Whitetails. Thanks for joining me on this hunt. It's been a great 2015-16 season, and I've had a ball in the field, just enjoyed every minute of it. So there you go, that's Mr. Krabs. All right, well, that was that was something else. That was my first for me, anyway.
First for me as well. That was again, I said it in the video. That deer, he's played cat and mouse with us all season long. I mean, literally every time on the covert trail camera, I was not in the field, he was there, and every time I was in the field, he didn't show. And what we finally figured out is he was bedded on probably the back side of my property, but he was bedded somewhere where he could see a tree stand that I was getting. I have 2 stands on that property, and he could see where I was getting into that tree. I've never had the deer quite pattern me, but they do. They pattern us as we're hunting. If we do a particular thing over and over again, they key on that.
Yeah, and that goes to show you how close that deer was living to where Drew lives. I mean, and you know, I mean, if you could see from how close Drew shot the deer to his house, you can see how that deer would just, I mean, he had you pegged until you changed up what you were doing. So that was an awesome hunt. It really was.
The other thing that was probably the key to the success of this hunt was the after shot. Basically, since it was a marginal hit, I didn't pursue him that night. I decided to back out and come back the next morning. Roughly, it was 14 hours from when I shot that deer to when we found him the next morning. And again, if we'd gone in there that night, he would have gone to the next property, next county, and we would have never found him. Something to note, I mean, my arrow went through that front shoulder, and as I was field dressing that deer, I found the broadhead, which had broke at the stem where it kind of screws into the arrow. I found it in him, and it was in his lung.
That's so amazing.
It's a testament to how tough these animals really are.
Right.
So
when you hear of one lung hit, and that's basically what it was. I mean, that lodge got that one lung. I mean, you got to let these deer get time. And you know, and look, we gave that deer a long time, and he was still alive. So I do believe the deer would have died.
Oh yeah, I think he was pretty much out.
Yeah. And so, but anyway, I mean, it was just, I mean, a great ending to a real cool story on a cool buck. So anyway, we're fixing, it is January the 10th.
10th today.
Yeah, and we're going to go out and try to do a little predator hunting this afternoon. The weather here in Kentucky has changed.
Yeah, it snowed outside last night. We could be bow hunting for deer, but we like to capitalize on this snow, and we're going to be going after some coyotes or some predators this afternoon. We still got another week left in the season, and we still have some pro staffers that are still hunting for deer, and we hope that they have success. But if not, if they do, we'll bring it to you next week. If not, we'll probably be doing a highlight show, something that you know, the highlights from the year plus what we learned from this year that we can carry over to the coming years to help us be successful in the field. So we hope you enjoyed this week's show, Drawn to Whitetails. Remember, the season never ends. Join us back here again next week.
Thanks for watching.